Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you talked about it last week. I knew I was going to get it. In fact, I may have actually already bought it by that point. Anyway, but I don't need to explain the mechanics, or maybe I do, because you said you did a confusing job of it last week. So let me try. So essentially a 2D shooter to look at in the classic sort of 90s SNES era mould, but actually has far more in common with a game like Braid and almost a puzzle game at times. You play as the Super Time Force, spawn as a chap, Jean Rambois, or Jeff Leopard, or Shieldy Blockerson. Different times, different classes have different ways of attacking the world, attacking the enemies. You start to play as a normal shooter, get killed, then rewind to a convenient point in time, choose another one to spawn. You eating crisps?
No.
Okay, never mind. So you die, then you rewind yourself to a convenient point in time, spawn another one, and you get a radial manual of which type of your Super Team Force that you're going to spawn, and then continue from there. But while the replay of your existing life continues to play on, if you manage to save the life of the one that eventually died, he will then become a power-up, and if not, then no worries anyway. And the idea being that you actually use this system, which you have 30 respawns, or what they call, there's a term that it uses in the game, but let's use respawns for now, to before you get to the end of the level, and you have a very short amount of time to get through to the end of the level. So the idea being that you can always rewind the time and try and do things faster. So you might get to a situation that's very tough, but you've rewound it 10 times, and suddenly you've got 10 dudes in there that can destroy a wall or a group of enemies very, very quickly. So what originally took you 12 seconds, now this time is only going to take you 1 second, so you quickly get through to the next bit. And it's just constantly making you feel... the overwhelming feeling that I had when I was playing is like, how the hell did they make this game, and how painful must it have been as they're all sitting there with this great idea a year later going, why on earth did we think this was a good idea? Why did we ever do this? But to be fair to them, they followed through, and they made the game they wanted to play. I could take or leave some of the writing. It's a bit meme heavy for me. It's not as cloying as Guacamelee, but sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's a bit off. I prefer it when it's just kind of riffing on the 80s and 90s and things. But the style's beautiful. It looks amazing. I love that art style of theirs. They're just kind of sort of really nice, detailed pixel art. Kind of fezzy, but with more detail, and a kind of brightly coloured colour palette. I can't think of what I was going to say. And as a shooter as well, on top of all the, this kind of puzzly, unusual time-bending structure, it's a very visceral and enjoyable 2D shooter with good punchy weapons, good death animations, good explosions, all the things that you would need and want from that type of game. And just really, really impressed by the whole thing. What an impressive game. Really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I mopped up a few things I needed to do. I played the 2 final bosses, but I needed to go and sort of finish them off. I love the game. I really just think it's fantastic. I could have used a pin button so that you press something, like in Pro Protector, where you pin yourself to the ground.
There is a kind of way of doing that, but you have to kind of flick between 2 buttons to be able to do it. It's weird. You can you don't lock your feet, but you can lock the angle of your shooting. So then you just choose not to move. So yeah, you can't quite do the thing where you pin your feet and then rattle your fire backwards and forwards. But say you have to shoot diagonally upwards, you can actually lock that, so you're not moving forward as you're doing it.
Oh, right. I was torn because that's, I wanted to be able to do that, but then again, I thought that would probably have made the game a little bit too easy. So it seemed like they'd made that decision consciously. So is that are you exploiting something there?
No. It's part of the design. It's like you press left bumper to hold it, but you have to kind of flick between it the way the controls work. So it's almost like it's kind of a little bit of a dexterous move to be able to do it. But yeah, it's good to say you spawn a bunch of Jeff Leopards, and you want them spamming the baddie with rockets, and you can have them all aiming quite easily at that. so they're always spamming it, and then sort of attack from another angle with one of the other characters. I like the strategies that just come up on the fly that you make up. That you think, shit, it's got us. It allows for all these solutions that you just come up with on the fly. It's very good.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shame that there aren't trials style. If you look at the leaderboard, you can't watch the replays of people doing it, because I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, you can save the replays out, can't you? But then you just have to go through the normal Xbox One.
Yeah.
Video sharing.
Yeah, and it's a shame that, considering those clips when you're playing all of the playthroughs at once don't take very long.
No.
I think they could be sort of saved and shared in a similar way that trials replays are. So hopefully that'll appear at some point. I mean, I have to say, if this was on PSN, there would be a real buzz about this, and there just isn't.
Yeah,
I've tried to convince so many people that this is about as close at the moment as an essential purchase gets, because I genuinely think the game's fantastic, and I think more people should play it, but nobody's talking about it.
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of easy to dismiss, because Microsoft and Sony have gone in such completely different directions, and Sony already has become the home of indie games, and the fact that it doesn't seem like a natural fit, because there aren't demos on Xbox One. A lot of my friends are like, I'll try the demo. There isn't a demo, because there doesn't appear to be even the functionality of demos on Xbox One, apart from a few choice circumstances. So it is really, really disappointing that, I haven't heard any talk about this entire week. It's just kind of appeared and disappeared. And if it were on PS4, PS3, PS Vita, or whatever, people would be talking. There would be a real buzz. And it's not. And I feel bad for the guys that made it, because this is a knockout game, and it's just kind of evaporated.
Yeah, hopefully it's done well anyway, and it's just people in our circle that aren't talking about it, but plenty of other people are. But yeah, it's hard to find those types of games on Xbox One unless you're specifically looking for them, and even then it's still pretty hard. But obviously it's on 360 as well. Well, I guess there's a demo on the 360 version, but yes, but do get it, really do.
Yes. Really do. You're not going to lose, apart from the replay thing, which, to be honest, I'm not going to use a whole lot, because you can't. They're not going to be on leaderboards. So if you're eyeing up the 360 version, just get it.
Yeah. Apparently it's literally identical, apart from that replay sharing thing.
And that's not a deal breaker at all. It's just it's the fact that it's out there. People should be talking about it. They're not. But take our word for it. It's a heck of a game. Pick it up.